Welcome back to Nightly Nonsense. Last week we did a whole series on end times. I want to continue that thought process with you. I want to give you some things to challenge, hopefully shorter in nature. Just some things that maybe you haven't thought about, maybe you have thought about, maybe some things that'll get you rethinking about things, maybe some things that are going to get you a little on edge, a little upset. Because you've never thought that before, or you've heard people say this, and it's goes against what you normally would think. So there's a lot about the end time stuff that we don't understand. Talked about that last week. There's some very specific things that they just kind of travel along. If you're a Christian, you say you're a Christ follower, hey, let's think these things through, right? What are the most important things about the end times? We get caught up in all the details, right? We get caught up in the details of what's going to happen. Right? What we know for sure is that the end times are about God wrapping up his story. A story, right, that starts off way back in Genesis. Now, I've talked about this several times throughout this week, and I just want to go back and I want to reiterate it and get you to think about some things. We live in a culture today that's constantly talking to us about love, about God's love for us, that God loves us so very, very much, right? He loves us so very much that basically he's going to let you do whatever you want to do. And at the end of the day, he's going to love you, right? And so he's going to let you to heaven regardless of what happened, regardless of what you've done in your life, because he loves you. We get that from human thinking, right? We get that from this idea that we have children and we have friends and we have family, and they can sometimes do some things. I can do things that are just really bad. They're really ugly. But at the end of the day, we hear this phrase frequently, we're family, and family's what matters, right? So we let people off the hook, right? Because we're family and we love them. Now again, here's where this whole problem comes in. We think that loving somebody means that we're going to have to excuse what they've done. It makes what they've done okay, right? We don't want them to have the consequences for what they've done. Even if we're willing to admit that they've done something wrong, we love them. We don't want them to face the consequences. So we're forced in that moment to do some things that are probably not beneficial for anybody in nature. The first one is we're forced to defend rather than discipline. Right? We're forced to look at a situation and try to figure out a way out of it. Rather than just taking responsibility, taking the discipline, we try to figure out how we can get out of this because we don't want the discipline. We think that love means getting out of, letting somebody off the hook, right? Sometimes love is putting people on the hook. Sometimes it's, I love you so much that I'm not going to let you get away with this. Discipline brings about a change. Now, we would like to sit back and we'd like to hope that if I let you off the hook, you're going to be so in awe of that you're going to never do this again, right? You're going to get it. But the problem is that lasts for only about 3 seconds. And then we do the same thing or something similar because now what's been conditioned is, oh, this person really loves me. So they're going to let me do it again and again and again. And then we end up with a problem, right? Because the problem is eventually we're counting on everybody else's grace and mercy, their love, to make things better when we do whatever we want to do. So I'm going to do whatever I want to do, and I count on your love, your mercy, your grace to make it all better, right? I'm going to create the problem. Willingly or unwillingly, I'm going to create the problem, and you're going to clean it up for me. So really what we believe, a lot of us, is that love is the quicker picker upper, right? It's just like that Bounty towel, right? It just makes it all go away. We make a mess and you're going to come in and make it all go away. Love just makes it all go away. So tonight I want you to think. I told you, simple in nature, right? Just quick in nature. I want you to just think about that for a second. Is that your view of God tonight? Is your view of God, hey, I'm going to make the messes, but God's love is always just going to clean it all up, make it all go away, right? Is that your viewpoint, right? God loves me so much, he's just going to make everything all better all the time. Think about that, chew on that, come up with an answer, and we'll see you again tomorrow night. Nightly Nonsense.